Advanced Passenger Information, or API, contains specific flight and biographical information and deals with who the passenger is. This video will describe interactive API systems and how airlines collect and transmit API to public authorities during check-in on a passenger-by-passenger basis and then receive a government response indicating the passenger's suitability to travel. This approach differs from legacy or batch API systems, where data for all passengers on a flight is combined and transmitted as a single message at departure. Please refer to our video on Batch API for more information on that process. Border control authorities typically use API to find out who is coming into or leaving their country. For instance, asking for API on inbound flights can help pre-identify persons of particular interest and who might warrant enhanced examination by border control personnel upon arrival. Compared to Batch API, Interactive API is a far more complex system which can bring immediate benefits to both governments and airlines. By vetting API prior to boarding, governments can identify persons who are not admissible based on previous history or who might represent a threat to security and prevent them from gaining access to the aircraft at origin. Airlines benefit by a reduction in the number of persons who are found to be inadmissible on arrival and whom the airlines are required to return to their place of origin, often at the carrier's expense. Being more complex, Interactive API is also more costly to implement because it requires public authorities to perform multiple actions in a matter of seconds. They must evaluate each passenger's information, determine if any issues should prevent him or her from leaving, boarding, or entering the destination country, and send airlines a real-time board or no-board response. Interactive API should be limited to specific data elements, transmitted at a specific point in time and in a specific format. Let's examine the international best practices which apply in this regard. API manifests include two categories of information: information relating to the flight and information relating to the passengers on that flight. An internationally agreed list of data elements which may be required in the API manifest message is contained in the Guidelines on Advanced Passenger Information that is jointly maintained by the WCO, ICAO and IATA. The current version can be downloaded from the Toolkits library. Many passenger-specific data elements are listed in the guidelines. In addition to information relating to the flight, states are urged to limit their requests to data located in the machine-readable zone of travel documents, which contains the travel document's number and expiration date, and its owner's full name, nationality, date of birth, and gender. Typically, data in an interactive API system will be sent only once at the time of check-in. However, the airline may also be required to send a final message following departure listing all persons who are physically on the aircraft or listing only those persons who had been reported but failed to board the flight. The UN EDIFACT PAX list message format is the global standard for airline-to-government transmission of interactive API, whether it forms part of a system that is developed by the state itself or by a specialized IT company. The message is detailed in the API guidelines. Government's responses back to airlines should consider making use of the UN EDIFACT CUS-RES message format, which stands for Customs Response and is also detailed in the guidelines. This video forms part of a toolkit available online with more detailed contents, dynamic checklists, and reference material to help you design passenger data programs that are harmonized, efficient, and valuable. ICAO, WCO, and IATA are united in their desire to assist all states and stakeholders with their questions. For more information on how we can help you, please contact passengerdata@iata.org.